This episode is for those who feel voiceless and helpless. This episode is for those who feel like they have no power to make any change. Too many people have lost their lives as a result of police brutality in Kenya. I'm Jackie from Think Illustrate, where we help you understand legal and social issues through illustrations. But today, we'll be doing things a bit differently. I'll talk about the right to life, police brutality, and what action you can take against it. Yesterday, Kenyans woke up to the news of an old homeless man, Vaite, who was shot dead by police because of violating curfew. A day before that, a 39-year-old welder on his way home from work was beaten to death by police at 7:30 p.m. We all remember 13-year-old Yasin, who was just peacefully enjoying family time on the balcony when a stray police bullet killed him. Social justice centers have documented at least 18 deaths since curfew started. For example, there's an asthmatic woman who died in her house in Kibra after police fired tear gas in a residential area. Another woman died giving birth in her home because she was too afraid to go to hospital. Hearing such news, honestly, it's like we've traveled back in time to the colonial era, when British settlers would actually shoot black Kenyans for sport. And the irony is we just celebrated Madaraka Day 2 days ago. Last week, we talked about human rights and fundamental freedoms, and we promised to cover those rights that are inalienable. That means rights that can't be restricted or limited no matter what. According to Article 25 of the Constitution, these are: 1. Freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment or punishment. 2. Freedom from slavery or servitude. 3. The right to a fair hearing. And 4. The right to habeas corpus. That means the police can just hold you and arrest you and not produce you in court. Notice that the right to life isn't on that list. And some will say, well, yeah, the death penalty is legal in Kenya. But even then, one can only be sentenced to death after going through a fair and impartial hearing in a competent court of law. The penal code only gives 5 offenses that are punishable by death. 1 is treason. 2 is administering an oath to commit a capital offense. Capital offense is any offense that is punishable by death. 3 is murder. 4 is robbery with violence. And 5 is attempted robbery with violence. And even if the death sentence is still legal in Kenya, I mean, no one has been executed since 1987. So why is it that the police keep taking the law into their own hands? Why is it that the right to life seems like a mere suggestion to our police service? Well, the good news is we have so many people who've been working hard to be the voice of the voiceless, to stand up for the weak, and to call out government on human rights violations. And you know what? No one is truly voiceless. No one is truly weak. You too can be a human rights defender, and I'll show you how. For a long time, we've all been saying, yeah, it sucks, but do. Well, it doesn't really matter who you are, what you are, where you are. Alex Derrito could tishia guys all the way in America from his house in Nyeri. What makes you think that you don't have the power to create change in your own community? Your participation can help change the course of history for Kenya. So, what can you do about it? 1. If you witness any instance of police brutality, or if you're a victim of, you can report to IPOA, that is the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority. They were set up by an act of parliament, and their job is to investigate deaths and injuries caused by police action. And by the way, lawyers and IPOA are essential service providers, thanks to a ruling of the Court of Appeal. If you ever get into trouble with the police during curfew hours, you can call your lawyer or call IPOA and they'll be able to come to you. 2, you can report to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, or KNCHR. They were established under Article 59 of the Constitution to promote and protect human rights in Kenya. They receive complaints and they can give you legal advice, and in some cases, they can go to court for matters of the public interest. That is an issue that affects a wide part of society or a specific marginalized part of society. 3, you can tell your story on social media. Imagine you just tweet your story and tag all these human rights defenders like Social Justice Working Group, Amnesty International Kenya, the Kenya Human Rights Commission. If you're in Mombasa, Muhuri and Haki Africa are pretty vocal. 4, you can write a petition to the chair of the Parliamentary Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. They have an oversight role over the Ministry of Interior, the police and IPOA. They can actually summon them to make sure that cases are being investigated, that officers are indicted, and in the long term, they can propose changes to the law that can end extrajudicial killings. There are many other organizations working to defend human rights in Kenya. We've compiled a list of who they are, what they do, and how you can get in touch. The list isn't exhaustive, but it has quite a few. You can find the link in the description box below. You know what? We can't keep on living like this. We can't keep living in fear of those whose job is to serve and protect us. We can't continue sitting back in the face of such inequality, honestly, where being poor supposedly is a crime punishable by death. We can't keep on living in a society where poor people die at the hands of police, while the rich and powerful can flout all the rules as they wish and nothing will ever happen to them. So, what will you do about it? Will you stand up and fight injustice? Will you become a human rights defender? I hope you do. See you next time.